a lot of reason to substitute the c of Einstein, that's the speed of light, with the velocity of 1 kilogram of electromagnetic mass. I'll show 23 good reasons to do it, and I hope that finally it is made, since this is one of the two causes that today do not allow the unification of physics. The other is the wrong system of the masses unitary measurements. But now we have to look to the c velocity of Einstein. It is another system that is added to the original one, when three parts of the Earth Meridian were put in line since 3 to 1 every second was defined by assumption as the velocity of the space in confront of the time. When Einstein put in action no more 3 to 1 but 2.99 etc. every 1 second, he put in a second unit different from the first, and so the physics cannot be unified, since in physics all the ratio happen in line, in the square, in the trinity of the space, in the 4 index of the reality, and a difference in line is different in the square, in the exponent 3, in the exponent 4, and cannot be assumed a ratio. If we assume it in 1 dimension, for example in the dimension of the square, it is not valid. In the other dimension, to can have the unification of the physics, we must have only 1 unit in line, since a 1 rises to every number is always 1, but 0.99 and so going on, as the 1/3 of 2.99 and so going on, is not 1. And so when it is raised to 2 is a number, is different when it is raised to 3, to 4, to 5, and we cannot have the physics unification. So I hope that finally the mind, the intelligence of our scientists can be activated in way to allow finally the physics unification. I say something. Point 1, it is clear, with 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time, the unitary velocity between the space and the time is 3 to 1. Point 2. 3 to 1 quarters of Earth Meridian every second were assumed with m and kilogram, and this assumption is most important. It is to be point 2. 3 to 1 quarters of Earth Meridian every 1 second were assumed with m and kilogram, and so it is an assumption. 3. When 1 to 1 meters every second is the speed unitary of one side, the volume exists only with 3 every 1 meters every second of speed. 4. One volume rise to 1/3 makes the side 1 of the volume, and it is unified as one volume only when the volume rise to 1/3 is raised to 3 and not to 2.99 and so going on. Point 5. The number of meters of the speed cannot be unitary, since this number is not unitary, as 1 second is. 6th point. Volume 1v rise to 1 divided 2.99 and so going on. It is not the cube radix that gets a possible side of electromagnetic volume. Point 7. With E, the energy, rest of energy equal to mc2, energy in the greatest dynamic, the ratio E divided by c2 equal m are rest as in E as in m. We have a rest also in the mass, and so it is not transformed in energy. Point 8. Only through E divided by C2 less m equal 0, we have transformed in energy all the mass m. 9. With E divided by m equals C2, this C2 must be the energy of the unitary mass m, that is of 1 kilogram, and it isn't it. Point 10. 3 raised to 3 multiplied 10 raised to 8 meters cubed divided by the meters that the sea speed run in 1 second gets the section, and it is more of 1, also being unitary. A real section is made by space and by time. The space, the unitary space, is 1 meter squared, and the time is a decimal part of 1 meter squared. Exactly is this number 1444 point and goes and so going on, rise to minus 1, and it is the time of the real bones. In fact, 1000 is 10 raised to 3, represents all the mass. 444.4 is the reality between the space, 3 dimension, and the time, 1 dimension. 4 is the space-time. But here it is in the 3 dimensions of the 10th cycle, and in the 1 decimal of the time. 90 is all the energy of the 10th cycle in the 100 at the dimension of 1000s. It is at the dimension of the unitary mass. 5 is the electromagnetism. The first 5 at the dimension 10 raised to 4 is at the dimensions of the reality. The other at the size 10 raised to minus 5 exists at the dimension of the magnetism. Afterward, we must consider starting from the unitary dimension of the atom. So we have 10,000 as 10 raised to 4, the unit of the space-time. 3,000, since 1,000 is all the mass in a line, represent the mass in the 3 lines of the components of the space. 100 represents the section, the unitary section made by the 10th cycle of the atom. So this number is all the bonds, and it is raised to minus 1 to be the time. Point 11. The sea, as absolute light speed, cannot be measured through a real speed. This is a rule, a general rule of the physics, and it is not respected. In this case, where the sea speed is absolute. 12 point. The sea, as absolute light speed, can be obtained only by theory. A lot of calculation get it as 3 multiplied 10 raised to 8 meters every second. We can see some of it. 13th in the 10th cycle of every physics units. 3 divided 3 is the unitary flow in line, and 3 multiplied 3 is its frontal section, where 3 divided 3 and 3 multiplied 3 are opposite between themselves. Point 14th 3 multiplied 10 cubed angstrom cubed 3 because we have the space in 3 line, and so 3 is the reason of the 3 lines in which this happen. 3 multiplied 10 raised to 3 is all the volume, the atomic volume of the mass in angstrom cubed, multiplied by the speed, the electric speed, unitary. The unitary speed is in meters every second. All the electric movement is exactly meters 10 raised to -5. And so, when we multiply this velocity by the mass atomic, we have 3 multiplied by 10 raised to 8 meters every second, as the velocity of 1 angstrom cubed full of unitary mass in the 10 raised to 3 that represents all the space full of mass. Point 15. 3, always by the same reason that we have the space in a 3-dimensional line, multiplied 10 raised to 10 angstrom cubed, that is 1 meters, 1 meters made by angstrom cubed in line, one after the other. 1 meters cubed full and represented by atomic units of the mass, divided by the section, the unitary section made by 10 squared angstrom squared. Every second divided 10 raised to 10, since we have at the dimension of the angstrom. It is equal to 3 multiplied 10 raised to 8 angstrom divided second divided 10 raised to 10, that is 3 multiplied 10 raised to 8 meters every second. 16.3, always by the reason that we have 3 components of the spacing line, multiplied 10 raised to 10 angstrom cubed, multiplied 10 angstrom, it is the unit of the cycle of the matter. All the run of a matter that run over 10 meters that run of a matter that run by a capo qua. 16.3, for the same reason that we have the space in 3 dimensions, multiplied 1 meter in angstrom cubed 10 raised to 10 as a meter, all made by angstrom cubed one after the other, multiplied the cycle of 10 angstrom as the time, divided by second divided 10 raised to 10, divided 10 cubed angstrom cubed is equal to 3 multiplied 10 raised to 8 meters every second. The 17 is made by the absolute quantity of 10 raised to 100. All the physics units are derived by this power, and we arrived we arrive in this way. It is divided in 10 raised to 25 as time, multiplied 10 raised to 75 as the 3/4 of the space. And it is time multiplied space. It is equal to 10 raised to 9 multiplied 10 raised to 17 in the 10 raised to 25. And it is multiplied by second. Making the inversion to have the space-time, we have 10 raised to 9 to be inverted through the logarithm of 10 raised to 9, multiplied 10 raised to 17, multiplied second by its inverse, the time. And we have 9 multiplied 10 raised to 17 meters second every second squared as the C2. A T point 10 raised to 3 decimeter cubed of water at 4 degrees equal 900 as a kilogram of energy plus 100 as a kilogram of mass, the mass that touch the plate of a balance when we put 1 meter cubed on the balance. The balance touches only the first 100 of kilogram. The other are put on as energy added to the 10, to the 100. So the ratio is evidently 9 to 1 in energy referred to one mass. 19. 16 atomic weight of the oxygen plus 2 atomic weight of the hydrogen is equal to 18 atomic weight equal to energy, with 2 atomic weight equal mass. So we have 18 atomic weight equal energy, divide 2 atomic weight equal mass, and 9 to 1 is the ratio between energy and mass. Point 20. We here start from the candela. 540 multiplied 10 raised to 12 cycles over every second and is equal to 54 multiplied 10 raised to minus 10 multiplied 10 raised to 23 cycles every second is only a transformation. And dividing 54 in 9 multiplied by 6, we have 9 angstrom, because 54 multiplied 10 raised to minus 10 meters is measured in angstrom. So we have 9 angstrom multiplied 6 multiplied 10 raised to 23, and 6 multiplied 10 raised to 23 is the mole, the molecule. Cycles every second, when the cycle is the 10th cycle of the matter, we have 9 angstrom mole m every second. Point 21. 1 decimeter as the reference of mass is equal to 10 raised to 9 angstrom as atomic volumes energy, we have that this 10 raised to 9 angstrom is 10 raised to 3 as the mass flow, multiplied 10 raised to 3 squared, and it is the mass flow of the section. Point 22. In 10 unitary mass cycle, 0 to plus 1 is mass, and 10 minus 1 is the plus 9 energy that is stopped in time, since we advance in the time as plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, but here we are returned of 1 in plus 9. Point 23. The E equal mc2 of Einstein has introduced a second unit in line, and so makes the physicists not unifiable.